It's New Beer Thursday!
Woo!
And we're somewhere new. I'm so confused.
So lovely.
We're at the grand fuck-off table.
Yeah, big fuck-off table. It's big and black.
It's not that big on the screen, but it's pretty big.
And since the table is big and black, we're doing a beer that is small and yellow.
What?
Yeah.
That was a link.
It was a link, wasn't it? It's kind of
I wouldn't call it small and yellow.
Very
well, this is a yellow, straw-colored, sessionable Kolsch beer.
Yes, we're doing Reissdorf Kolsch. We're going to Europe. The thing that's interesting about this is there's a lot of Kolsch that come from U.S. craft brewers because, you know, it's a light, easy drinking style. It's more interesting than just like standard blonde ale. But actual German Kolsch, you really don't find German Kolsch in the U.S. a lot. Like from what I know, there are only 3 that are actually imported in the U.S. Reissdorf, and then the other is Sooner and the other one.
Yeah.
That I'll think of at some point.
That one.
Yes.
The one that you're screaming at the TV with right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Idiots.
Reissdorf, Sooner, and Goffel. That's the third one.
Goffel.
Aha. So, but yeah, and it's nice just because you have like a traditional one straight from Germany. First of all, I'm surprised at how well it holds up because, I mean, it's got, you know,
It's tasty.
It's delicious. I mean,
Yeah. Nice and clean. It's got a really, really nice malt character to it.
Yeah.
it's kind of bready. It's almost got like a honey note to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's got like a little bit of like an herbal kind of hop profile, but it's not like super in your face as far as the hops go, like a Pilsner would be or something like that.
Right.
You know, but yeah, it's just really well balanced. It's not crazy dry. It's not super bitter. It's like everything all in balance. It's very schummen.
Well, and we talk a lot on the show about the craft beer thing and how people who are new to craft beer are like, yes, I want all of the hops and I want all of the large barrel-aged stouts and I want all of these. And it's like, have you ever had a Helles?
Yeah, exactly.
Or a Kolsch?
A really good
or just a
Kolsch, yeah.
really good German lager. Like, these are styles that you need to appreciate because these beers are so hard to produce well.
Extraordinarily difficult.
Like, you cannot hide a single flaw in this beer.
Well, I think one of the I guess, easiest things to do is most people come from, at least, I think people come from commercial beer, like Budweiser, Bud Light, all those macro lagers, and they don't really get the true sense of what this is technically not a lager, but it's a Kolsch. I mean, they don't get that true sense of what Bud Light could be if they put the true ingredients in it.
Yeah, if they
put the artistry into it.
Right. And
Exactly.
I mean,
and
ultimately,
let me finish my thought. So I think this lets you, it's an easy transition from those beers. It's definitely a lot more flavor, and some people will be turned off by that little boost in flavor. But that's what this is. Maybe not what it's supposed to taste like, but it's getting into that realm.
right.
Sure.
I mean, and it's important to note that BMC beers are
Bud Miller Coors.
brewed technically perfect.
Yeah.
They are choosing to make this beer taste the way it does, and
Right.
they choose to, and they do it consistently and perfectly.
And I'm not hating on
no
the fact
hating
that
on
they
that.
are
Right.
brewing great beer.
This is a beer though that's going to focus more on the flavor, more on the ingredients, more on the quality, and it's still technically perfectly brewed. And this is what makes it what German style beers. What I love about them is that they are just always technically spot on for what they're doing.
Well, I mean, it's very German,
Right.
being very precise.
Right, the Reichshoboken, and which I can never.
Reinheitsgebot.
Yes,
The Reichshoboken?
I mean, yeah, whatever.
Isn't that like
Shut-
that sounds like an attack from Street Fighter or something? Yeah.
That's all you get. So anyway, but I mean, they always brew exactly what they're going for. Which I mean, and I love the creativity and the off the rails nature of the American craft beer scene. But occasionally, you need to go back and revisit something that because I'm gonna say it right now. There are craft breweries that are coming out that are like, we can make whatever the fuck we want, and that's awesome. You can. But it also masks bad brews.
Yeah. I mean,
it's like,
there's certain breweries that are like, that do like awesome, like wacky stuff. But if you're like, make me a pale ale,
Nope, they're like, nope.
Yeah.
Before we go any farther, let's bounce out and send you off to a Master Pairings because we have something delicious in store for you today.
Nom nom nom.
And somebody that's going to probably say, hey, y'all.
Or not.
Or not.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Paula Deen?
No.
everyone. Welccome to another Master Pairing. I'm your host, Bill Sysak, and I have Carlos
Granillo.
Thank you. Carlos, I've known for a while, but I know him as Carlos. I didn't know his last name until just recently. So today we have a New Brew Thursday beer. We have a smoked porter, 5.1%. And so this beer is smoked with applewood and tri-tip. Have you guys ever had a tri-tip smoked beer? I don't think so.
I did.
Tell us a little bit how that works out. How do you do a tri-tip smoked beer?
Well,
I've had a lot of wood smoked beers.
It's in like the
peat smoked, but Stone does 20% peat smoked in their smoked porter. How did you do this?
It's like in the egg smoker. So you have your water pan. It actually had apple juice. Below it had apple wood with coals. And as that's burning, I had actually a tri-tip with my dry rub on it. It was more of a sweeter dry rub with a little bit of chipotle in it. And then the top rack actually had the malt.
Okay. Now I get it.
We had it in a little screen and kept on every half hour. We were spraying it with a little bit of water, shaking it up so make sure everything didn't burn.
Okay.
And then after that, it was done.
Pretty cool. And I think that's 11% of the malt you're telling me. So cheers. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
I'm getting smokiness. I'm not getting, and it's a lower ABV beer. Remember, it's 5.1. Stone Smoked Porter is almost 6%. So porters at this low range, you think, well, maybe you're dropping off on the roastiness or not. It smells really nice. No hint at this point of meat, just so you guys know out there. Term would be, for example, butyric. If it was an off flavor, obviously we'd be going for a tri-tip smokiness to this. Let's see how the applewood plays into it. So, nice smokiness. It's really nice, and you get that creamy roasted malt which comes in when you got a smoked beer. Great mouthfeel.
Yes. Very smooth.
Really nice.
Very smooth.
Almost has a creaminess, like there's lactose.
Almost like a milk stouty.
Yeah, exactly. Good roasting. Once again, not picking up the tri-tip, but I love the fact that it was in the cooker at the time, so that's pretty cool. So tell us what we're having.
What we're having is I do my own catering on the sides, Big G's Barbecue. So I did some.
Carlos is a grill master.
Yes. It's a pulled pork that I smoked for about 10 and a half hours.
Nice.
And then I have a homemade coleslaw I put on top of it with, also we have my peach pineapple mango tropical barbecue sauce in here. So I layered both the buns with that.
Peach, pineapple, mango, heat?
No, it's just a mild one.
Sweet,
Yeah.
okay. If you don't mind cutting mine also, that'd be awesome. I'll make a mess. So once again, you've got a great meat that's going to go great with the roasty characteristics of this beer. The smokiness obviously is only going to play into it. Even if it wasn't smoked at the same time as one of Carlos's meats, it's still going to have those awesome characteristics. So let's see how we are here. Looks great. Meat's delicious. The bread's great. The sweetness from the barbecue sauce plays really well. You have the coleslaw, which vinegar based or mayonnaise based?
Both.
Okay, I was kind of confused because I was trying to determine. So
It's
that's
actually,
good.
it's about 20% mayo, 20%, actually 40% sour cream, and then vinegar.
Oh, nice. I like that touch.
Yeah.
What the coleslaw is really doing is on the beginning of the bite and the palate, it's adding that texture element. It's get that crunchiness, which is perfect. And then as I'm finishing up, I've got the sweetness, and then the coleslaw kind of plays into it. You get the hint of vinegar, the fattiness of the mayonnaise, and it just goes really well. And the meat's delicious. So let me see here. It brings a whole nother nuance to this beer. Yeah. So you get the sweet, nice, roasty coffee notes. You get the smokiness, but then you get this fruitiness that comes across the palate. It's not really the hops necessarily. It's just a round softness that comes from the beer, and the way it balances off of the meat and also the vinegar that's in here. And so it's playing.
Gives you a whole different profile.
It really gives you this more. It makes the beer more quenching.
Yes, it's like a thirst quencher.
Yeah, it makes it more fruit friendly, and it just plays really well. So even though it's got this great reaction to the meats which are great. It definitely, a lot of times what you'll get when you get a smoky beer and higher alcohol, it'll definitely play off the smokiness, the savory aspect. And when I just try the pork by itself, it definitely has that nuance and characteristics that's classic with pairing a porter or a smoked porter with the really nice pork or beef. But when you get the whole sandwich together, that's when it brings it all on and really elevates the flavor profile and just makes it quite delicious. Yeah. So awesome.
You can tell the difference by the pork by itself to the whole sandwich.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Completely.
So this beer is going to go great with steak. I would love it with a steak, a nice tri-tip porterhouse, any of those things. It's also going to play really well with pork dishes. And I can see this also with red sauces when it comes to barbecue. So when you get that Kansas City barbecue, that sweetness that we're getting now, but that rich, robust redness of the sauce, the tomato-based sauce is going to play really well with this. Wouldn't necessarily recommend it with the tomato-based like red sauces or Italian sauces.
Yeah.
Stick with your
more of your barbecue
ales,
sauces.
Amber ales, but a barbecue where it has that extra sweetness and that char to it.
Yeah.
That you get from having it on meats, grilled meats and stuff, it plays great. And like I said, the coleslaw is perfect.
Yes.
So very well created sandwich, Carlos.
Thank you.
I love the sauce. I love the coleslaw. I love the meat. So great job. You didn't break the bread too, did you?
Huh? No, I didn't.
Okay, just checking.
No,
just saying.
If I had time, I would have tried to, but.
And John, really nice job on the beer. Quite enjoyable. Definitely holds up to big foods. And on its own, it's really nice at 5.1%. So you can get a beer that's close to a session porter, which is awesome to have it and still have that much characteristic and flavor profile. So, Carlos, thanks for coming on.
Cheers.
Thanks for watching another Master Pairing. Cheers, everyone.
Welcome back.
Hey.
We still don't have a really good way of doing that.
No, it's very awkward.
It is
always,
every time.
but it's fine.
Yeah, it's good.
I think awkward is one of the key definitions of our show.
It's one thing that we do, yeah. One thing I want to point out, and
Some
one of
people
the things,
brew really good pale ales. We just are awkward.
That's what we're good at.
yeah. One thing I want to point out about this beer, which is one of my favorite things about German beers, is just look at how pretty this is. Like it is just crystalline. And it's kind of bubbly.
And I like the little tiny bubbles and the way they kind of dance around. Like, especially like in John's right now, there was like a little tornado of bubbles for a minute. And like right there, you see that? You said, well, you probably can't see it.
I totally saw it.
You probably can't see it. Shut up.
It's not that great.
No, but I mean, it's just, to me, it's kind of cool. Like the way the bubbles work on these beers are totally.
See, my kind of favorite clarity test, especially after I've had a few, is if you can put your finger behind it, but you can still see like your finger.
Yo,
like,
I can see my fingerprints on the glass.
You know, like you see what I mean?
Not really. But
Shut up.
I'm very oily, I guess.
He made fun of me for my tornado bubbles, so I made fun of you for your fingerprint. For your CSI beer.
Yeah.
A lot of nucleation sites on the bottom of the glass.
I think this would be a cool beer to put in one of those things that has the etching on the bottom.
Yeah, exactly.
'Cause it would
you'd have
really
a
just
wonderful,
ignite all the- yeah.
tornado.
Which causes
Which is the Duvel glasses would be perfect for this. Yeah.
nucleation.
Nucleate. I know. I was. Yeah.
Full circle.
John's talking to them. We're talking to each other.
I'm talking to myself.
Yeah.
And you at this point.
Okay, so events coming up. This is Thursday, the 27th. On the 29th is
Packinghouse
the Brewgrass.
Brewgrass. Yes.
Yep.
It's in 2 days.
you
If
can
you're not
feature it-
there,
feature
you're a
in-
fucking square.
You can star in John's revenge porn that he'll be filming there.
Featuring Oats.
Right.
Is it just Oats and Hose Jr. or what's the
Mini
Oats and-
Oats and Hose.
Mini Oats and Hose? Yeah.
It's 3.9%. I just dry hopped it with 6 ounces of
Your mom.
That's a pretty ballsy dry hop for a 4% beer.
Columbus Citra and Falconer's Flight. It's the standard hopping rate for the normal 7% version, but this is like the 3.9% version. So hopefully,
Yummy.
and we're going for a 2-week grain to glass.
Wow.
So it may
Grain to glass.
suck.
Is that like a farm to table
You can do
thing?
that.
Well, grain to glass.
It's
Grain glass, I like
that's
that.
an actual
That's cool.
technical. That's an actual
You should.
like
You
term.
should like.
That's very well
Everyone
known.
says that.
It's
I don't. So shut up.
How often do you brew?
Not very often, actually.
Anyway,
anymore.
what else is coming up? Steve?
July 17th is the Woot Stout. That'll be down at the one of the Stone properties, and I forgot to check which one now because I'm so used to them all being at the Stone Brewery, but I think this might actually be at Liberty Station.
I think it's at Liberty, yeah.
And that'll be kind of cool if you're into geeky stuff. The Woot Stout, if you haven't heard of it, is a collaboration that was done by Stone, Will Wheaton, and Drew Curtis from Fark.com. All three of them will be there, as well as Paul and Storm, who will be performing as well.
What, really?
Yeah, they'll be
Fucking sweet!
This sounds like Comic-Con at Stone.
Yeah, well, it's like Wootstock at Stone.
Stomach-Con.
Yeah,
That's why I said that.
yeah. So, because every year at Comic-Con they do Wootstock, and so I think this is going to kind of be a smaller version of Wootstock.
Undertaker.
I'm hoping that Adam from Mythbusters will show up.
That'd be
He kind of shows up whenever.
He's a Wootstocky kind of.
Yeah.
He's
So,
in
but-
that orbit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Anyway,
That would be cool. What we're
Yeah.
thinking about
Anyway,
doing
it sounds like it's going to be a really interesting beer. Looking forward to trying it. And then after that, in August is August 10th is the Full Pints
6th anniversary.
6th anniversary,
At
which is
38
going to be 38 degrees. So we'll be there. The one event that we will not be at that we've been at the last couple years is GMBF, but we are still promoting them this year.
The Great Nebraska
Beer Festival. It's in Omaha at around Omaha.
Funds
It's
are
at
low
Nebraska
this year, and
Brewing Company.
but it's a great event. You've gone
I've gone the last 2 years,
Yeah,
and it is a phenomenal Midwestern beer fest. It's
pretty
worth
much
going
like
to
one of
if
the
you're
best
anywhere near the area.
Anywhere near there.
So you'll be seeing some bottom third ads for that, as well as us tweeting about it. So just because we love our friends over at Nebraska Brewing, and we want to help them out.
It's more than love.
So that's it. I think that's all that's really going on so far. I mean, I'm sure next week we'll have a whole bunch of events that we're going to, because they just keep popping up. It's the summer of beer fests.
Or not.
yeah,
It could
it's
be
a summer-
completely out of gas.
It's summer season.
But yeah, this is great.
That's this weekend, which
Will be previous weekend.
the previous weekend, which is Sourfest.
So
But
Never mind that.
never mind Sourfest.
Sorry.
If you didn't go, you missed out. It was awesome.
No, stick to your European beers. Give them a try. There's so many out there that are so cheap.
Yeah, seriously.
Price wise.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
you can get them. They're literally, $2 for. How much was this? $3?
This was $5, but this is actually a
$5.
500 mil. So
Yeah.
it's
A
Two
buck
beers.
a mil.
Two beers, yeah.
It's a buck a mil.
buck a
It's a
mil.
buck a mil.
It's actually a penny a mil.
Penny mil, yeah. 500 mil is...
Penny a mil. That sounds like a rap
Okay,
song or
whatever.
something like that. Anyways, but yeah, this
Really bad
is the
rapper.
Reissdorf Kolsch, which I think is probably the most easily available. No one saw that.
Hold on.
But also, like I said, it's the Sooner or the Goffel Kolsch. Any of the three, you can't go wrong with. They're really, really great.
Also, try a Helles, try a good German lager. Explore the European beers, the stuff that has been brewed for hundreds of years and has kind of defined what beer is.
Yeah, exactly.
It deserves your respect, and you'll enjoy the
Yeah,
experience.
don't spill it all over your face like I just did. Yeah, that's not respectful.
So, on that note, until next time, stay safe and drink beer. Cheers.